Hello, welcome to my video. Today I am going to be teaching you the katakana alphabet. Katakana alphabet. I love saying that. Sounds really pretty. Before I go into teaching you how to read and write katakana, I'm just going to explain about it a little bit. So, to get the full explanation of how letters work in Japanese and about the 3 different alphabets, you should watch my last video about hiragana, how to read and write hiragana for Japanese. And the intro for that video, I give a lot of good background information, which would be really helpful to understand. But let me just tell you really quickly. Katakana is an alphabet for Japanese loanwords, so words that do not originally come from Japanese. For example, they might be words that were borrowed from English. A lot of celebrities' names or company names or things like the word Starbucks would be written in katakana. Starbucks would be written in katakana. So it's a really useful alphabet because you automatically know, oh, this word did not come from Japanese. This is a foreign word. And really quickly, let me just review the pattern that katakana follows. So if you know about the pattern that hiragana follows, every letter represents a syllable. And these syllables follow the a, I, U, E, O pattern. A, I, U, E, O. A, I, U, E, O pattern. Katakana is the same exact way. And all of the letters are pretty much the same as hiragana, meaning there's a letter for like identical sounds of hiragana. They're just written a little bit differently. So I will go through and say the sound of each letter, and then I'll show you each one individually and how to write it. Okay, so the first group is the pure vowel group, and that is a, I, U, E, O. A, I, U, E, O. The second group is the K group, ka group, and it goes ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. Ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. The next group is the S group. The S group goes sa, shi, su, se, so. Sa, shi, su, se, so. And next is the T group. The T group goes ta, chi, tsu, te, to. Ta, chi, tsu, te, to. And then the N group. N group goes na, ni, nu, ne, no. Na, ni, nu, ne, no. Na, ni, nu, ne, no. And then the H group. Ha, hi, hu, he, ho. Ha, hi, hu, he, ho. Then the M group. Ma, mi, mu, me, mo. Ma, mi, mu, me, mo. And then the L or the R group. The sound is a little bit tricky for English speakers. But it goes da di do de ro, da di do de ro, da di do de ro. And then there are a few letters that don't really fit into any group at all. There's 3 letters starting with the Y sound. Ya, you, yo. Ya, you, yo. And then there is a wa sound, and then the only consonant that's just by itself, sound, kind of like ng or in English. Okay, so those are all of the sounds for each letter that I'm now going to show you. Okay, first, I'm going to show you the pure vowel group starting with A. And first of all, let me just say, I made these flashcards before starting the video. I had really nice hiragana flashcards, for my hiragana video, but I didn't have katakana ones, so I had to make them myself. Sorry, my handwriting is not perfect. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. Okay, so first is a. Let me trace it for you. So we start over here. So is made with 2 strokes. 1 stroke, 2nd stroke. Okay. And a word that you might see written with is the word for America. America in Japanese, it's America. So America, America, America means the United States of America. America. So this is you can take a look up close here. Okay. Next in the vowel group is E. E has 2 strokes as well. Starts up here and then down here. Like this. E. A word starting with E is Indo, and that is the Japanese word for the country India. India starts with E. Indo. And you can take a look up close here. You start at the top like this, and then you go down. 2 strokes. 2 strokes. So we've learned A and E. Next is U. A, I, U, E, O. A, I, U, E, O. So here is U. I like this one. I think U is very pretty. So let me trace U for you. For U, you start up here. And here. And then 1 long stroke. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. U has 3 strokes. I'm trying to think of a word that starts with U. I can't think of any loan words. Maybe you just heard that. My air conditioner. Aircon. My air conditioner just started. Aircon is the word for AC or air conditioner in Japanese. So we'll use aircon as an example when we get to A. But for now, let me think of an example for U. U. God, the only word I can think of is umami, but that's not written in katakana. Well, you know, this is U. Okay. And next is E, just in time for the aircon to turn on. Okay, so this is E. And it might kind of remind you of the letter I. The letter I in English, but this is the katakana letter for E. You go over here. 3 strokes. 3 strokes. 3 strokes. And like I said, an example of a loan word written in katakana is aircon. 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 Aircon means air conditioner. Aircon. This is E. And then the last letter in the vowel group is O. 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 This is also 3 strokes. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's a little hard to write it backwards. words. Sorry. This is o. O. Example for o would be in the United States we have a state called Oklahoma. Oklahoma would be written with o. Oklahoma. Oklahoma would be written starting with o. O. And again, it's 3 strokes. 3 strokes, 3 strokes for o. Okay, well, good job. You've already gotten through the first group. That's the vowel group. Let's move on to the K group. And K follows the same pattern, going ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. So let's begin with ka. Ka. Ka, ka, ka. Okay. This one is 2 strokes, and it starts right here. Goes like this. Like this. Ka. I like ka. Ka is very pretty. An example of a word that will be written starting with ka is Canada. Canada will be written Canada, Canada, Canada. Canada starts with ka and katakana. Oh, and katakana can be written starting with ka, I think. Katakana. Like this. Oh, sorry. Katakana, katakana, Canada, Canada. Katakana, Canada. This is ka. Ka. First letter of the ka group. Okay. Next is ki. 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 So this one is 3 strokes. 3 strokes starting from here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You can take a look closely here. Ki, and I think ki and ka, the one I previously showed you, these two resemble ka and ki written in hiragana. They are similar, I think. So maybe you can remember these easier than other letters. Ki. 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 And a word starting with ki in katakana would be I don't know. There's a person's name who is not a Japanese person and their name starts with a ki sound, like Kiara. Kiara would be written Kiara. Kiara. So starting with a ki. Ki. Sorry, sometimes it's hard to think of loan words right off the top of my head. Okay, next is ku. 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 So ku. Ku. Ku is 2 strokes. 1, 2. And a word starting with ku is Christmas. Christmas, which means Christmas. 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 Starts with ku. 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 Christmas. And I think if you guys know what Krispy Kreme donuts is, it's really popular in the US. That would be written Krispy Kreme. Krispy Kreme. Krispy Kreme. Yeah, I think. Let's start with ku. 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 Okay, kakiku. Next is ke. K. K. Sorry, my K is a little bit ugly. I think this part's too long. It should be a little bit shorter. Sorry. Keiki, 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 keiki. Very important word, keiki. Okay. And lastly, we have ko, 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 ko. I have to look at it to make sure I'm doing it the right way. So this is 2 strokes. This is 1 stroke. This is 2 strokes. For ko, ko, ko. What starts with a ko? Oh, Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola. Coke. Coke. Coca-Cola starts with a ko. 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 Okay. So that is all for the K group. And what's next? The S group. Very good. Okay. Let's start with sa. 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 So sa has 1, 2, 3 strokes. 1, 2, 3 strokes. You might notice a pattern with stroke order. It's usually left to right, up to down. So if we have one going left to right, that usually comes first. Left to right, and then we'll do, for the ones that go up to down, start the one on the left, go up to down, so left to right, left up to down, right up to down. Yeah. This is sa, by the way. Sa, sa, sa. Sa, word with sa would be saka, 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 for soccer. Saka for soccer. Soccer, saka. Okay. Next is she, 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 she. Okay, she goes to. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. She. Now, the most confusing thing about katakana is that there's 4 letters that look very similar. Shi and tsu. Shi and tsu look very similar. And then so and n. So and n. Which I will show you more later. But this is she. She. She, 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 she. And I can't think of any words starting with she. Sorry. She. She. Sorry. But if there's a word with the she sound, it'll be made with this. Okay. Next is su. 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 2 strokes. 2 strokes for su. 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 And a word starting with su is the word for cell phone or smartphone, and in Japanese it is smaho. Smaho. Sumaho. Sumaho. Smaho. 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 Might sound kind of funny if you're an English speaker. Smaho sounds kind of like smartphone. Yeah. So technically it's a loan word from English because it kind of sounds like the word smartphone. Smaho, sumaho. Yeah. Here you go. Again, take a close look. This is su, su, su. Okay, sa, shi, su, se. Se. This is se. Se. 2 strokes. Se. Se, se, se. Se, se. Say. They can't think of any words starting with say. Sorry. Okay, and last in the S group is so. 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 2 strokes. 2 strokes. Ready? 1, 2. 1, 2. This is so. 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 I'm so bad at thinking of loan words right now. But if anything starts with so. Okay, like the name Sora. Sora. I think it's a Korean name. Would be written starting with so for Sora. 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 So. Sora. Okay, that's all for the S group. Next is the T group. T group starting with ta, ta, ta. So ta starts like this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Ta, ta, ta. Ta. Ta, 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 ta. Ta. Maybe, ta. Ta, ta, ta. Okay. Next is chi. 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 Ta. Chi. So. Chi. 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 Cheese. Cheese is the word for cheese. It's written with T. Cheese. Chi, chi, chi. Starting with chi. Chi. Okay. Ta, chi. Next is tsu. Tsu. T-S-U. Tsu. Tsu. And please do not get your tsu confused with your shi. They look very similar. Very similar. This one is more vertical. This one is more horizontal. Tsu. Shi. Tsu. Shi. And for one thing, not many loan words have the tsu sound. That's very unique to Japanese. So usually if you see tsu in a katakana word, it's tiny and it has a different purpose. So if you see a tiny tsu in the middle of a word, it means to hold out the sound before it. So there'll be like more of a gap. For example, in the loan word for Starbucks, Starbucks, Starbucks. After the ba and before the k, Starbucks. There's a little t's because it's like Starbucks, Starbucks. You see how it like kind of pauses there? It's a little hard to explain, but that's the rule of t's. When you see t's in katakana, you add a little t in the middle of the sounds to like accent it a little bit. Okay. this is te. Te is the next one. Te. Te is a popular letter for loanwords. I can think of a few. Tennis starts with te. Tennis. Tennis. 3 strokes. Te. Te for tennis. And then for television or TV is written terebi. Terebi. So it starts with te. Terebi. 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 Okay. And this is te. Then lastly we have to. 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 And you might use this if you go to Starbucks and order a tall size coffee. Because Starbucks is weird and uses the word tall instead of small. You will order a toru size no ice coffeeをください. Toru size no ice coffeeをください. That's how you order a tall size ice coffee. Toru size. Toru. Toru means tall. To. To. Okay, that's all for the T group. Next is the N group. We have na, 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 and you will see na in the word Canada that I mentioned earlier. Kanada, na, na, na. Na, it's very simple. Next is ni, ni, ni. It's just 2 lines like this, ni, ni. And you'll see this in the word for tennis that I also mentioned before. Tennis. Tennis. Ni, ni, ni. Ni, ni. For tennis. Nani, nu. Nu. This is nu. Nu. And to be honest with you, I've never written a word with nu in it. Katakana. I think it's more rare. I can't think of nu, 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 nu. Even the word for news is written with ni plus u, so it's new, new. It's not nu. So I can't think of any words. I've never used this one before, but it exists. This is nu, nu. Right, nani, nu, ne. It says ne, ne. Okay, and ne starts up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's a little bit more complicated. Ne, 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 ne. And maybe if you want to say net, like netto, netto, net, netto. Start with ne, ne. Then finally we have no, no. Very simple. Just 1 line. No. And the word for notebook, noto, noto. Notebook is noto, noto. Starts with no, no. Okay, very good. Let's move on to the H group. Starting with ha. This is ha. 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 And if you were to write out the phrase happy birthday in katakana, be ha, happy, happy. So the English word happy, it would be written with ha, ha. Just 2 lines just like this, okay? And he. He goes like this, just like this. 1, 2, 1, 2. He. this letter when it's so. Sometimes you can add these little marks to some letters and it will change their sound. So if you add 2 little lines in the corner to any of the H sounds, it will make them a B sound. So if you add 2 little lines here, it'll be B, B, and then you would use that in the word for television, terebi, terebi. So there's 2 little lines here. But without the lines, this is he, he. Okay. Next is hu, hu. Just like this, very simple. Just 1 stroke for fu, hu, hu. Maybe the word for a hoodie, like the piece of clothing, like a sweater. Hoodie would be hudu, hudu, hudu. Just like this. Hudu, hudu. Okay, next is he, he, he. It's like a little mountain. He, just 1 stroke. He, he. Okay, he. And then finally we have ho, ho. Goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is in the word for smartphone. Sumaho ends with ho, ho, sumaho. Okay. You're doing great, okay? Next is the M group. The M group. Starting with ma, ma, ma. And the name Michael, English name Michael, start with ma, maikuru, maikuru. I think it would be written maikuru, but it would definitely start with ma plus e equals mai, maikuru, maikuru, ma. It's just 2 strokes, Next is mi, mi, mi. 1, 2, 3. 3 strokes, mi. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Mi, mi. And I think the state in the US, Mississippi, would be written with me, Mississippi. I don't exactly know how it would be written out because I've never seen it, but it would probably start with me. Okay, and then this is m. And this is a popular word in Japanese for like video games. Game ends in mu. And it can even be used as a verb, like an action. If you want to say, I'm going to play video games. Game shimasu, game shimasu, game suru, game suru, game shimasu. Game mu. Okay. And then the me, back to me. This letter is in the word America, which means United States of America. Like I mentioned before, this is the second letter. Me, America, me. Okay, very strokes for mo. Just 3 strokes for mo. And then I think lemon is written lemon, lemon, lemon. Has a mo in it. Mo, mo, mo. Okay, and then one of the last groups is the da-di-do-de-do group. Let's start with da, da, da. And the air conditioner, the aircon just came back on. Sorry. This is da. And if you wanted to be cute and write I love you, like literally I love you in Japanese using katakana, it would be I love you. So the word love be written love, love. I love you. Very cute, isn't it? Very cute. Da, da, da. Okay, next is ri, 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 ri. Maybe my name would be written with this, the second letter of my name, for Elise. Aris, Aris. So, ri, ri, ri. 2 strokes, ri. Next is ru, ru, ru. 2 strokes for ru as well. Like this, like this. 2 strokes for ru. And an example is the word for rules. Rule, rule. Like we have rules in this house, or you have to follow the rules. It would be written ruru, ruru, ruru. Uses this letter twice. Ruru. Next, re, re. Just 1 stroke for re, 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 re. A little bit hard to say, isn't it? Re. Okay. And like I said, the word lemon, lemon starts with re, re, lemon. Okay, last one in this group is ro, ro, ro. Ro, ro. And this one goes, I think, yeah. Just like this. Ro. And if you like rock music, you will use ro for rock, rock music, rock, ro, 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 ro. Just a box, just like this. Very easy to write. Ro, ro, ro. Okay, and now we just have the 3 Y sounds. Ya, you, yo. Here's ya, 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 ya. Just 2 strokes. Just 2 strokes for ya, 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 ya. Okay, got it. And then you, 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 you. And like I said before, you will be used in the word new for like New York. New York. Be ni plus you. Ni, you, new, new. New has you in it. You, you, you. Just 2 little strokes here for you. Okay, got it. You. You, and then yo, yo, yo. This will also be used in the word for New York. It looks like an upside down letter E in English. Confuses me. 1, 2, 3 strokes. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yo, yo, yo. Okay. And then we have 2 more letters that don't really fit in any category. First one is wa, wa, wa. Wa, wa, wa. Wa, wa. In Japan, there is a holiday called White Day, White Day, White Day, White Day. That would start with wa. White Day is kind of like Valentine's Day. There's 2 of them in Japan. They have Valentine's Day and White Day. One of them, the boys gives gifts to the girls, and one of them, girls gives gifts to the boys. So, White Day be written starting with wa for white, white, white. Wa, 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 wa. 2 strokes for wa, wa. Okay. And then the last one is our lonely consonant. And this one is used a lot. I'll use the word lemon again. Lemon. And then lemon, lemon, lemon. And please don't confuse this with so. Let me find so in here somewhere. Okay. So here's here's so. They do look very similar, I know. And again, this one is vertical, so, and this one is more horizontal, so. I know it's very confusing, but it's just something you have to get used to, okay? And if you practice, then I know you can get it very soon. I know you can do it because I did it, so you can do it too. Okay, so that's all for the very basic katakana letters. There are a few more, kind of how I told you a little bit, with you can add little marks to the sides of some letters, like for the H group, you can add these 2 little lines to the corner. And all the sounds will start with the letter B, so ba, bi, bu, be, bo. And then you can do the same thing to the K group sounds. If you add these 2 little lines, it'll turn them into a G sound, so ga, ki, ku, ke, ko. And you put a little circle, a little dot, tiny little circle dot. In the corner of the H sound, you'll have a P sound, so pa, pi, bu, be, bo, pa, pi, bu, be, bo. And there's a few more examples like that where you can change the letters, but I told you all the basics. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed learning or reviewing katakana, and I hope you have a great night, great day, great everything.